Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. It's a new day, it's a fantastic day, it's a really great day. The feeling like the 1st of September when school starts back and everything is new, when you see new friends, when you have a new classroom, or like when you're moving into a new house. You're entering, you're looking at the walls, you're smelling, the smell is important. Smelling new paints and etc, and you're curious to discover more because you don't know yet everything. You need to get used to new habits. Well, this is the feeling, because from now on you can take your pen and you can scratch the words maybe, normally, it should be, let's be a bit more patient, we think that it will be, but wait, it's over, because since yesterday Juventus announced their new coach. Thiago Motta has signed a contract of 3 years, announced yesterday by Football Club Juventus as the head coach of the Bianconeri. Thiago Motta, welcome. In today's video, of course, we'll speak about Thiago Motta, a lot about Thiago Motta, his way of thinking, a bit of history, how he will play, the players that he's asking on the transfer market, about the new era, and then of course we'll speak about Mercato. Pay attention, it is getting hot. In a few hours, in a few days, we could possibly have a new announcement of Juventus, and if we are believing all the sources, they're all going towards one name, Douglas Luiz. Attenzione, and much more, so put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, continue to support as you are doing recently. You are just amazing. Yesterday night, I was thinking about the channel, I was thinking about the live that we did, the Marathon Motta, the Motta Marathon, and I had that feeling of romantismo, a bit gratitude. And I wrote in the community tabs, thank you. I love every single one of you. And I really mean it, really seriously. Thank you. Continue to help the channel by doing everything that you do usually. The comments, the likes, the subscription, etc. Because now we start. Yesterday, at 10 minutes before 7, so it was 6:50 Italian time, what did we see? The video, the announcement. How did they announce Thiago Motta? Balls were bouncing into the stadium to all arrive towards the center of the field, forming two letters, TM. Some people were thinking could have been done much better, much bigger. We were maybe expecting a video of Thiago Motta, or maybe Thiago Motta there in the center of the field. I tell you that I extremely love, and I want to congratulate the team marketing of Juventus to come with something that genius, because it's not that much the production, the aesthetic part of it, but it's the messages. And I told you, the messages. I want to underline that there are more than one message in the announcement of yesterday. We go with the most obvious one, of course, the balls that are forming two letters, TM, initials of Thiago Motta. That's the most obvious one. We go further with the second layer, TM. What does that mean? Trademark. What is a trademark? Protecting a brand. DNA, identity. Nobody can touch it. It is ours. We were asking for a football DNA, for finding back a football identity. TM, Thiago Motta, and trademark. Then you think about the ball. Why a ball? Not why not physically Thiago Motta? Well, the ball, if you go back in what we said yesterday during the live about the 6 principles of Thiago Motta, but also if you go towards the thesis that he wrote to pass his exam as a head coach, official head coach, to have that diploma, the title of that book, of that thesis, was Il valore del pallone, the value of the ball. The ball. Always central for Thiago Motta, that in his principles, the ball should be for the Juventus players their first friend, their best friends. Everything goes with the ball. If we have the ball, it's easier. Possession-based football, the ball at the center of everything. And then we go towards the fourth explanation. The balls, they are not there just on the field somewhere random towards the goal. They are there in the middle, at the center of everything, at the center of the field, at the center of everything, because the ball will be the most important thing. And I love that. Thiago Motta, DNA with the protected trademark. We go with the ball, and we go with the ball at the center of everything. Guys, congratulations, fantastic job. I love it. The creativity, the geniality of the marketing team of Juventus. Congratulations to them, because it's just beautiful. It was written that Thiago Motta and Juventus, they would have been like that, because if you go back In 1997, Thiago Motta, when he was in Brazil, he was playing already with a team, the Juventus of São Paulo. Of course, the shirt was Granata, was with Bordeaux, referring to the color of Turin, Bordeaux, that Torino was playing with, but with a big J. With a big J from Juventus. Juventus from São Paulo. It was written, he had to become a coach of Juventus. And since yesterday, it is like that. Look at that. Juventus yesterday on Twitter, on social media. L'inizio di un nuovo capitolo. The start of a new chapter. And I want to say more than a chapter, a new era that will cut with the past and start to think and build something totally new. It's beautiful. I am extremely excited. I am not here to tell you everything will be perfect, everything will work well, we will win 3, 4, 5 titles. This is not what I'm here. I'm not here to make false promises, but I can tell you that there is the intention to do something great, to do something beautiful, and I can't wait. And if we are reading the first words of Thiago Motta, well, this is what he's saying. I am really happy to begin a new chapter at the helm of a great club like Juventus. I thank the owners and the management who can be sure of my ambition to keep the Juventus flag flying high and to please the fans. We have the same ambition. We have the same ambition. We want to put Juventus there, where we belong, since ever and forever. And we will do it together, Thiago Motta. You can count, I think, I speak for 90% of the GJustjuve community, that we will be there to back you up, to be strong all together, taking that flag of Juve and proudly putting high in the sky. That's what we'll do, and we are counting on you to please us, the fans. How are the papers speaking about Thiago Motta's announcement? Well, Tutto Sport is saying Motta, bella, beautiful, tosta, strong, and ambiziosa. And also ambitious. That's the new Juventus of Thiago Motta. Of course, inside they're speaking a lot about it, but we see on Tutto Sport, big page, big picture of Thiago Motta. Corriere dello Sport, parola di Motta, the words, the promise of Thiago Motta, referring again to his first words. With Thiago Motta, he's already there, in the center of that page. So they are really underlining there is a change of chapter, a change of era at Juventus Football Club. Then, of course, Zazzaroni, he couldn't resist to write and to compare with Allegri. Why? Because we know it, we said it. It's not that Corriere is the best friend of Juventus, but Zazzaroni, the director, is a really great friend of Allegri. I think it was not necessary today to go with comparison with Allegri. What are his words? What is he comparing with? He's saying, for months, for years, they told me that Juventus Football Club, they just needed another coach, but the team was fantastic and was working well. And now we see not only Thiago Motta as a new coach, but looks like with the Mercato are changing all the team. So something is not working. And even if I agree with Zazzaroni, I think it was not really great and nice to start today's Corriere dello Sport with that one. Makes totally no sense. But anyway, it's still better as Gazzetta dello Sport. Today, I am shocked. Today, I am sad. Today, I am disgusted. Today, if I start too much with today, it looks like I'm Infantino. I am not Infantino. Gazzetta dello Sport of today, there is, I promise you, not a single picture, not a single word, not a single mention, not a single link. There is nothing, 0.00 on the total big first page of Gazzetta dello Sport. They are not mentioning that Juventus, after 3 years, changed their coach to Thiago Motta. The silence is strong. The silence is really loud. I'm shocked by that page. I believe that Italy, with athleticism, is doing something that is extraordinary. They are doing a miracle. I'm not sure if you are following what is happening with the athletic nations there in Roma, but Italy is winning medal after medal after medal. They are doing something incredible, which is beautiful, and congratulations. They totally deserve to be there on that first page, to take huge space on that first page. But I believe that when the biggest club in Italy, and Juventus is without any doubt the biggest club in Italy, with the most titles, but also with the most fans in the world, you are not even writing a single line to announce the coach that they change in 3 years. I think it's really an intention to not speak about Juventus. And then when you're putting Federico Chiesa there in big in huge on that first page, referring to La Nazionale Italiana that will not start tomorrow but on Saturday, and already putting there with the captains, the old captains of the Italian national team that spoke and said, Spalletti, you can do it. I believe it's a huge, big disrespect that they are bringing to Juventus Football Club, something that we can't accept. If you were still doubting, hesitant about the intentions of Gazzetta dello Sport, well, today you have a big new and probably one of the biggest evidences that it's absolutely not okay. Absolutely not okay. Also because they are not even speaking about Federico Chiesa. And then if really they wanted to honor the miracle that athleticism was doing, probably they would have started on page 2, on page 3, on page 4, on page 6 with the miracles of the athleticism. But that's not what they are doing. That's not what they are doing, because the first time that they mentioned inside Gazzetta dello Sport athletic team is at page 40. You heard it really well. 40. Anyway, when we go to page 18 for Gazzetta, this is the first time that they are mentioning Juventus and Thiago Motta. A new era, un nuovo corso, a new way. Motta, it is official until 2027 for Juventus, an old lady that will be beautiful and winning Juventus. At least. They're also already starting to show us the possible lineup of the new team of Thiago Motta with Di Gregorio into the goal of 4-2-3-1, made of Danilo on the right, Cambiaso on the left, central defenders between Calafiori and Bremer, double pivot Rabiot, Douglas Luiz, and then you have Greenwood on the right side, Cope Manners as an offensive midfielder, trequartista, Yildiz on the left with Dusan Vlahovic on top. New names for Juventus: Di Gregorio, Calafiori, Douglas Luiz, Cope Manners, and Greenwood. These are the names that they are insisting. Tutto Sport is also referring, of course, with more pages, more dedication, more details about what Thiago Motta could offer Juventus, like a lot of possession. We spoke about it, the ball, the center of everything, a lot of changes, a lot of velocity, a lot of pressing, high pressing on the field. These are the ideas of Thiago. We already spoke about it yesterday. For the tactical side, I have invited someone to speak about Thiago Motta way of playing. Hopefully we can fix a date, and soon we will have the new Thiago Motta explained by an expert. But they're also speaking about a team with all the possible combinations and names of Juventus 24-25. With Di Gregorio as a starter, with Perin as a second goalkeeper, Danilo Di Lorenzo could play there as right backs, Cambiaso Danilo also can play there on the left, Calafiori Bremer are starters, but also there we have a Gatti, a Rugani, we have also a Danilo that could possibly play as a center back on the left, and a new name that we'll speak about in a second, Kivior. Pay attention to that name. Douglas Luiz, Rabiot, but also there in the midfield a lot of other names like Locatelli, Fagioli, Barrenechea, Enzo, and Kefren Turam. On top, so many names. Greenwood, Zegrova, Weah for the right side, Cope Manners, Fagioli for that offensive role, Yildiz, Greenwood, Chiesa on the left, and then we have a Vlahovic, a Morata, a Milik. Before coming back on Greenwood, because that's a name that you probably already are starting to think about, so let's start with Morata. Morata that spoke on Us, a huge, big paper in Spain that is a bit more towards Madrid. Well, they spoke about him with a big interview where he said openly that you can read on the site ilbianconero.com from Romeo Agresti, that said, I don't feel that I am the priority. I will be 32 in October, and when you don't feel that you are the priority for your club, it's probably better to leave Atletico Madrid. There could be some rumors that are saying not keen to Atletico Madrid and Morata to Juve, but a possibility to swap Kostic to Atletico Madrid, Morata to Juventus. Let me know if you think that this is a fantastic, beautiful deal, if Juventus should say yes immediately or no. Kostic, Morata, back home 3.0. But then we go towards Wikipedia. Wikipedia that usually I am not watching when we are speaking about football, or at least not if we're speaking about transfer market. But today I saw that Wikipedia Italia, they are describing Douglas Luiz as a new player as Juventus, a new midfielder of Juventus and from the national team of Brazil. I don't know who did it, but anyway, from now on, if Wikipedia Italia is continuing to put me this kind of information, these will be the first source of information about transfer here on the channel. Jokes aside, yesterday there was USA against Brazil. 1-1. I didn't watch the game, but I watched a bit of highlights and some people told me about it. There was McKennie against Douglas Luiz. Strange, the destiny. Douglas Luiz that could arrive in Bianconero, McKennie that could go to Aston Villa. But yesterday, focusing on the numbers, the stats of Douglas Luiz, well, you see he received a 7.2 on SofaScore, 7.1 on live score. Anyway, 45 minutes he played that second half with him. 52 touches in one half. 44 passes. You know how much succession rate of passes? 100%. And if you know that it's already 3 years that I'm telling you that I'm pissed off, and that the first thing, if I would have a magic wand, that I would change at Juventus is increasing that pass accuracy. If you present yourself as Douglas Luiz with your first trademark that is 100% pass accuracy, welcome, benvindo, Douglas Luiz, that I can't wait really sincerely to have at Juventus. I told you that I would come back on the name of Kivior. Kivior, that is the plan B to Calafiori. Bologna is exaggerating with their request, I told you, and yesterday we had Romeo Agresti here on the channel while we were live. If you go back to the live of yesterday, you don't want to watch 4 hours, which is perfectly understandable. There is a timestamp that you can find in the comment section. If you click, you can see the part with Romeo Agresti. Well, he spoke about Calafiori, he said as well, too much. The maximum that Juventus should go for Calafiori is 25 plus maybe a player. More than that, it's probably way too much. Well, Juventus is already thinking about another player. If it fails for Calafiori, that we agree is still the priority. Well, it is Kivior that is playing at Arsenal, is not receiving the playing time that he wants, that he thinks that he deserves. And that's why Juventus is thinking about him. Why? Because he played at Spezia with Thiago Motta as coach. And probably Thiago Motta, speaking with Giuntoli, told him, look, I want Calafiori. If it's not possible, if Bologna is exaggerating, well, look, Kivior. Possibility. I put myself garant on Kivior. Oh, Kivior, we will speak about him in a few days. Now, we go back to the last name of today's video, the one that is controversial. I primi rinforzi, the first names to strengthen the team. You know that I start really speaking about players, etc., when I see that more papers, especially papers that are totally different, are starting to mention. And on top of course, Douglas Luiz, that everyone is speaking about at the moment, well, there is the name of Greenwood that is arriving step by step, bigger and bigger, everywhere on all the front page. And I know that it's a controversial name. Every single day we are here to speak about it. Is it a real interest? Yes, there is a real interest. Of course, Manchester United, too much, the request of 50 million, way too much, and we know it. So for that, Juventus is not even sitting at the table. On that one, if Manchester United, they are keeping the high request, there will be no Greenwood at Juventus, be sure about that. On the other side, we can ask ourselves, is Juventus doing right or not? I told you from a sporting side, absolutely yes, he's a phenomenal, he's a fantastic player. And if you can go for him for a cheap sporting side, fantastic. On the other side, there are the other part. And I am nobody to judge a person. But it's true that at a certain moment you start thinking about things. And you're saying, if today we are already coming out of a Paul Pogba doping case, that is absolutely not Juventus' mistake. If you're coming from a Fagioli betting scandal, that is absolutely not a Juventus responsibility. But then if you go to the market to go and sign a player with all the past that he has, whatever he did or not, the past is there. Bring him home. Guys, it's tough, huh? It's really tough. Would it not be better in today's world where media has a big, huge central part, a big central part in how we communicate? Would it not be better to just pass? Unfortunately, it's a pity. It's a pity sporting side, but would it not be better? That's the question that I am asking myself. Tomorrow, Euro 2024 starts. Germany, Scotland, the first game. I don't know, I found from Opta the stats. And Opta is going with England, 19.9% favorites to win the tournament. Second is France, then Germany. These are the top 3, followed by Spain, Portugal, and the Netherlands. And then you have on the 7th position Italy with a 5% only, Belgium 4.7%, and Denmark 2.2%. I told you yesterday, and I was totally aligned with Romeo Agresti, favorite to win it, France. Surprise team, I said Albania, like Romeo Agresti. Let me know your favorite to win it, who you believe, not who you want, who you believe will win Euro 2024. And tell me the surprise team. I'm curious to read you. Now it's time, again, if you didn't yet, to put a maximum of like, to continue to subscribe to the channel. Grazie, forza, Juve.